Thank you. Please be seated.
Well, members of the jury, I represent the Crown. My learned friend, Miss Nagesh, defends Snoopy in this case. This is a case about a mother losing her unborn lamb. May sound an obvious question, Miss Applefoot, but why were you running?
Because I was scared. I didn't want to see what might happen if I let the dog get me.
So the dog is barking, biting, you're running away. How are you feeling at that time?
Stressed, intimidated, really scared. I didn't know what was going to happen.
And how did that incident end?
Tragically, with my stillborn.
Can you repeat after me, please? I am the animal friend of Snoopy.
I am the animal friend of Snoopy.
And on behalf of Snoopy,
And on behalf of Snoopy,
promise to tell the truth, the whole truth,
promise to tell the truth, the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
Now, has your human taught you any commands?
Yes, I've had some formal training where I've learnt a lot of commands and did very well at the training, so much so that I actually go back on a regular basis to see the rest of the class as an example of what good the training can do.
Great. Can you just tell us what punishment you received?
I had a behaviour order put on me, which meant that I had to go to sessions to help me understand things from the sheep's point of view, so I could understand the impact of my behaviour on the sheep, which helped a lot.
As part of that example, do you show those other dogs how to worry sheep?
No.
Because you've done it before, haven't you?
When I was much younger.
You've done it before, haven't you?
Yes, when I was much younger.
And you were given a puppy referral order?
Yes.
And during that referral order, you've told us that you understood things from the sheep's point of view.
That's right.
Do sheep like playing with dogs?
They certainly seem to like playing with larger dogs.
Do sheep like playing with Jack Russells running around barking at them?
Sometimes, yes.
What about the experience when you pleaded guilty to worrying sheep? Were you playing with them then as well?
I thought I was, but I didn't really understand because I was very young.
Well, come on, Snoopy. You pleaded guilty to that offence. You accepted you were worrying sheep. But now you're telling us that you weren't really worrying, you're only playing, are you?
There was absolutely no intent to worry.
Well, you pleaded guilty to the offence.
This time there was no intent, that's what I mean.
I see. How do you feel when you get chased by another animal or a person? Frightened?
Not always, no.
I didn't ask you about always. When you're chased by a dog or a human, at some point, you're worried about that, aren't you? Because you wouldn't be running away otherwise, would you?
It could be a game.
But it's not always a game, is it?
Might be.
So, members of the jury, the time is fast approaching when you will now have to make a very important decision. Because you, members of the jury, randomly selected to perform the most important of civic functions, and that is cast judgment on a fellow animal in this court today, with all the consequences that follows from that.
There's a difference between nipping and biting, and there's also a difference between high-pitched barking and growling.
I've seen no evidence whatsoever to suggest that he knew that the sheep was pregnant.
I also really don't think it's fair to say she's done it before, so she won't do it again.
Because also, am I right in remembering that the eyewitness said that they thought Snoopy was amongst the sheep, so no one can really say that she was actually singling Meadow Applefoot out?
We don't have a rabbit witness, but...
One of the issues I have is consistency within the testimony.
Have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
No.
Thank you. Are you able to indicate the split between guilty and not guilty?
5 guilty,
Rest not guilty.
Thank you. Well, that's neither a unanimous or a majority verdict, so you've been unable to reach a determination in this case. I'll turn then to the prosecution. What is the intention of the prosecution? Will you be seeking a retrial in this case?
Your Honour, yes, I've taken instructions, and the instructions are the prosecution will be seeking a retrial.
Thank you. All right. Well, that will take place in some time. Is the defendant on bail?
He is. She is, rather, yes.
Thank you. And are there any conditions on that bail?
Simply not to enter the field in which Miss Meadowfoot resides.
Thank you. Well, I think that's appropriate. Thank you. Right, court case dismissed. Thank you.